We're going to cross then to Brussels, talk to our correspondent Dave Keating, who joins us from there. I mean, Dave, we heard there from the Spanish foreign minister in Spain, obviously really pushing for this now.
Yeah, I mean, so we have two things going on concurrently here, right? So we have this ninth session of the two-state solution alliance, which for years has been trying to find ways to advance the two-state solution, which of course has been made more difficult over the past 3 years because of the October 7th attacks and Israel's incursion into Gaza. And as they discuss these possibilities, we have the Palestinian premier of the Palestinian Authority here really stressing the point that Israel's actions in the West Bank, and specifically the actions of Israeli settlers in the West Bank, are obviously working counter to the solution of a two-state solution. And so attention has turned into the possibilities of the EU's trying to stop those settlement activity from happening, and also specifically sanctioning violent Israeli settlers. Now, there was an attempt to have a vote on this in February, but it was vetoed by Viktor Orban's government. Speaking to reporters at the summit, Kaja Kallas, the EU's foreign policy chief, said now with the election in Hungary that will put a new government in place, there's probably the possibility to pass that, but they don't know yet. Now, the tricky thing is, yes, we have this meeting of foreign affairs ministers today where they'll discuss this, but there is a transition period in Hungary. So the government of the opposition leader, Peter Magyar, is not yet in place, and there will be Viktor Orban's representatives there. Now, the controversial foreign minister, Peter Szijjártó, is not there, I'm told, but there are Hungarian officials there, so they need to see whether they're going to continue that veto today. Nevertheless, there are several EU countries that want the EU to go much further than just sanctioning violent Israeli settlers. That is all that Germany has been willing to do, but there's also this question of the EU-Israel Association Agreement. It underpins trade between Israel and the EU. The EU is Israel's biggest trade partner. So we've had the governments of France and Sweden co-sign this letter saying that all products from the West Bank should be excluded from that association agreement since they are not covered. But a further 3 countries, Spain, Ireland, and Slovenia, want to go further and are calling for the complete suspension of that association agreement. You heard there the Spanish foreign minister reiterating that this morning. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said it again in a speech on Sunday. The big question is whether there's a majority for this, because that is considered a trade issue. So for that, they only need a qualified majority of countries supporting. It's not considered a foreign policy issue, which requires unanimity. And so all eyes right now are actually on France and Italy, the foreign ministers there today, because if those governments change their position on this, they could have a majority. France has been kind of in the middle on this. Italy has been a big supporter of Israel under the government of Giorgia Meloni, but now her ties to Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu are fraying. And so we'll be watching those two foreign ministers closely today to see if their positions might have changed, and so maybe they could get a majority for suspending the association agreement.
Dave, you talk there a lot about Viktor Orban and Hungary and, of course, the changes there. It's also that change in Hungary that's affecting another big issue. This is, of course, European aid to Ukraine.
Yes, that's another topic that the foreign ministers will revisit today because, of course, Orban has been vetoing this 90 billion euro loan to Ukraine made necessary by the pullout of U.S. support for Ukraine. This money is meant to make up for that. However, Viktor Orban has been vetoing that. Again, the assumption has been since that election a week ago that now that loan can go forward. But again, because of the transition period, not quite yet. Although we could have movement on that today because the Hungarian government is now saying that there is oil flowing again through the Druzhba pipeline, which was their stated reason for vetoing this. So it may be that Hungary and Slovakia are going to drop their vetoes as soon as today. Let's see. That could develop today. But the fact is that we do still have Orban's government in there, which makes this difficult. Ukraine obviously keenly watching. They need that money very, very urgently. So it's a possibility for today, but I'm told probably don't expect that 90 billion euro loan to be approved today.
Dave, thanks very much. Dave Keating, our correspondent there, joining us live from Brussels.